The National Cathedral, we want to know what happened. We got a copy of the audit. If the Parliament of the people of Ghana endorse the bill, when it comes to me as president, I will sign it.
I don't think you two MPP flag on Yanaso. Well, but in some fool, Ubabokrono, over 2 or 2.
Yes, my phone, you know, Kwaba, Bium Emra, Jumadi, so, and Sembebre, and a free president of Ghana, His Excellency. John Dramani Mahama Asye Eba Mampani din Sembia Tuga Afa Almighty National Cathedral scandal Absha Mampani Kasawi no the pressure Aqua Akuffo bi so sanse enche enkrofo bi eba bedem quick one ebedin komana feni ha information e free National Cathedral Asye Eba enochi Mampani achem se LGBT kill chase bill no Mampani e crowd se obesan die nanado dan ko Akuffo antumi ansan no ono Mampani John Dramani Mahama e crowd se obesan na baba ye emra e wo oman Ghana mu quick one ye bewram na e di ho nso nkomo na bibia aye kama Mampani wie wa mananso ho or strong warning akọ e di ama ono ankasa nkofo abusua ensem ni beto dwa no akoma nsem bebre e na ba wani nsem foforo bi e na ya boaboa no ya fenasi yede ni nyina ebre aifo na afi no ya biebie nsem no balansa na no yanko Almighty National Cathedral ni etie nsem a Mampani John Dramani Mahama ede atudwa ede ayamhihie abren krofo bi ekoba abusan nsem wa chipa.
On the issue on the National Cathedral, the National Cathedral Board of Trustees ordered an audit into the accounts of the National Cathedral. The audit was published, and there were some issues that bubbled out of the audit. But there are two kinds of audit. There's a normal audit that you yourself choose your auditor and ask him to come and audit you. And then he audits and presents the report to you. There's that kind of auditor. Then there's the auditor who is asked to come and do a forensic audit. And so we got a copy of the audit that had been commissioned by the Board of Trustees. And as president, I directed that a forensic audit be conducted. We want to know what happened. Before we go forward, we must know what happened. And so we're waiting for the report of the forensic audit. Once that forensic audit has been done, then we can decide what the way forward is. I believe that at this time and age, with all the problems we have, $400 million to build a cathedral is excessive. I know Nigeria have built an ecumenical center, and I've been there. It's a decent, beautiful place, and they built it for $40 million. And so maybe some of the things are excessive, you know. Let's find somewhere, all of us, on National Day of Thanksgiving and Worship, we can all go there and worship God and thank Him for what He has done for us. And so when that forensic audit is over, our intention is to have a broad-based consultation with the Christian community to see how we can build a place that is decent for us to worship. But apart from that, make it a center where people can come and, look at its architecture and all that, and find that Christ, has a place in our hearts, in our nation. And so when the time comes, we'll do that consultation, and we'll decide together how we want to go forward.
Almighty National Cathedral. Sure. And say National Cathedral no dear. Aye adie bia. Say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Yeah. And na ban woman hwe no man toto niema. Na de odisika bia wo no man chena. Yeah. Amanfo bedwa. No kre. Eno tina Mampani ani abre wo ho no. Of course.
Roger, Mamina was in the first place. Na mincha hwefo na fi. Yes, na any komo. Yeah. But meeting way etodwa wa bra Christian Council. Eshia Mampani John Dramani Mahama. Na omuni ni kodim koma hwese obaye no. Oh, say na amamuo no enko.
But the me peno John Dramani Mahama ho ne se. Okay. Ase ompre ne ho nya de. Of course. Enka obaye na manfo expect se nka se National Cathedral. Enka ya tu obi a de ne konsawam. But as Mampani adwuma ye no, eda fombo ko but mi ogidie se enu 2028 no. Of course. Na niema aye clear.
Irata woni baby. Mampani every day or impress me.
Oh yeah.
Now with this National Cathedral issue, no, many jidese Mampani onim de oye. On preno and come Mampani di and cancer just say National Cathedral issue no enay a dependent.
Oh yeah.
Because yenim adia yedinaso yeah ken. Na yenim say around 58 million dollars.
Yeah.
And an audit report na e buy nekatre so enye 58 million dollars but it can era 97 million dollars. But says no difference e was audit any forensic auditor mampani e kano enie. But according to president forensic auditor or say koye no the woman nyina ene say enei first audit no e treyen sika dodo a ye use ye twa sika we ma company we no makwa ko say ampa sika sa ba mo ho nti eno ye sika dodo a ye use na mom forensic audit we no ebe treyen me ehu say sika na ye de ko ho no na ye ne kwan so say e wase ye de ko ananye ne kwan so sika ye yi e ma asofo we e no first audit na kire mu say ye yi ma no ojetum say wanya nti enko obi a ho akoni pe so ko no ho but forensic audit no ebe ka akirem am ye hu say sa nipa no na oye right say oje sa sika na na these are certain things here say opre ho ya at the end of the day obekọ court no obekọ akodi for
and
I agree with the president. National Cathedral in the first place asase no na ya asase a project wo so enti yentimi mani nko waste enei say aban fofraba na waba bebubu project no na odisika 97 million dollars akwa koshem na yenya hwea enkoye empuye wie na obia ni sika. It is either say you convert the project no either be before and I bet to cathedral so two things and say over to so go project in there be before e was say we audit no na ye bu no cry ewom any enkofo sorry to say o medicine obi ho a why back pass enei oni company be e kanana company na ka kire say ye medicine $200,000 obeko nkrata mu no e $200,000 na ma no nemom obi a board of trustee member ne connection we kire nti enei forensic audit no any investigations ebe me husankrofo no then ne do makudina mra nanim
but then some for kankane MPP for no mo see
okay
John Dramani Mahama buy no why forensic why audit no amo ma hwehwem ama abeto dwa se obi aniska one to asem
director abronya kwa na din kadi sa story ne buy
abronya asem de obi si yemfa nya asem
o mo se Deloitte Ghana for aye audit o mo se obi aniska nti mampani aka se obi aniska director nti mampani nkoma odi nei na e kire mu se wote se MPP ni bi e ka wa bonten se National Cathedral ahwehwe ma wie obi aniska oboase ne hu oyetrofo onka no kre because first audit no ena madi nka kire mu se eno ma ye hu sika dodo a spending project no e kasa ni abo sika na ye de akọ no ye tue ni nyina ma amanfo ana ye sika da ho that is the purpose of the first audit ena forensic audit ni de enye sa forensic audit no e kire yin say project na ye no emiti value for money sika dodo e de akọ no e so ni project na da ho no enti enei say wo spending $97 million na uye project na ye na ye amana na da ho a forensic audit no be me hu say $97 million enrich a deserve more than amana enti amana dia anka we could have used $10 million na dey to amana na ye tu no but enei say use 97 dia e was a more than amana na ye tu no e besa wo na ome in charge no we can hold them accountable nti enei Mr. Ken Oforiata say edru ho a e wo say obaba yi no ho no de nti a aban ka say ye the seed money na echo na mom ye wie no enye seed money nko a ye yi sika free aban bank ma aban fotuom na ye de akọ e ba say obeyi ano
but an Ghana for so e bana aja audit bibia ye fine na amanfo ho statiko dimie statistics amanfo a Ghana for nso ani beje
director of course because me am hey
because National Cathedral metumi aka say ye be 30% na MPP lusu ye
director I no correct because time election no campaign mu hiti ya na NPP eni abre dis eni abre no side time na Cathedral essence because na ora na hiti ti Cathedral asem beto mu no na fe de MPP for ka hwa enye yie enti wo hwa ya even adana na do sie fra konya so no ama kofie bua the one wo parliament house ho the so say na do upon adwuma boni oye nyina chi no o hye nyame bo wa nisu na mbom eno de obejai ama oni ne nyankopon e ma ebeye yie nti eye no kre eka one of ensema eto amanfo akoma so a omoto obeti MPP nti se wo ye DC ni a fa hye wutirim say National Cathedral so obi ediska o se ye che no.
Okay, commander yentumika na influence nsem no toso mampani se emema ne mema ema ne manhia mudi a yede ma na narodan kwa Akuffo ade se nkonsan na meye mra o man Ghana mu ye ti obi so obi di sa adwuma na masa ye tiuti a ne sa Akuffo ade ansan no John Dramani Mahama de so de Kristoni obesan enkramofo ne Kristofo ne chese nananom abosomfo obi ani age abusua ye ntiemra.
Questions or equivocations about what we believe. I believe that we are completely aligned with the Christian Council in terms of your belief. And so we agree with the Speaker to relay the bill and let Parliament, debate it. And if there are any amendments or whatever that have to be done, if the Parliament of the people of Ghana endorse the bill and vote on it and pass it, and it comes to me as president, I will sign it.
Mampani John Dramani Mahama. Ayere. And Ghana for Bizwani Adi. Okay. Almost Adi Akuffo ado ntumi anye no. Yeah. Mampani John Dramani Mahama baya wabeye.
Sure. The right away bibi. Mampani John Dramani Mahama. Oye mampani a sebi okanokre. Yeah. Eduru bia yenye fe. Eto da bia nsem bi ho a ye ka obi susu se oh, mu gina ban na chi dodo na sei. Obi etaikas asemo ya dani NDC for propaganda media house because always we be defend any John Dramani. Yes.
Wamaka.
Right obi comment section every day obabeka. Nti semeti asem na.
What did
Right o say
na eyambosi eye propaganda.
Right ebi nie $1. Atofo semba ye budget no na nani abre ne ho pa say ye say dollar abafom ye ye adwuma NDC ye nka no kre ye kadri MPP back no kre $1 ko 16 about 15 cedis director NDC buy $1 about 10 cedis o say aden ye say $1 about 10 cedis when NDC time ye mama wo
LGBTQ o se wan kill no Akuffo ado ansan John Dramani Mahama buy no si da bi o parliament o de betu anim a won de obesan ni abotna kan wo say e propaganda mo ani enyai radio program no
director wini ye tedi say nipa ba ko no a se bi wato ne nyansa na one no kra ni twaka no ye ntimi nyina wo no so enyi atro e wo ha ana ye ntimi nyina wo no so enyai program ne da bi ekiri
di ye nto aso
ye beto aso
ene quick one
director mampani John Dramani Mahama with enkoma wedi enei kire se odu hotunu so eyeye ewo mu se yemfa ye ni ntu nipa so yemfa ye hu ntu obi so obedi hwamode na mu mampani John Dramani Mahama okanipa kakra bi a odu omhoto omo so eyeye no oka
na saade ne de e wo se ye timi sign na be ye mra because wo ba pa na wo ba no wakosa tebia ni mu a e wona ba wo se ha adwen
pa but se wo sha minority for no komo a omudi ni neyi no kire say esika kakra na omunya free IMF ho enti no mantima ansan because afenoma kino ka o parliament say omo ye dede efa mani mema nhia mudie ho a NDC we ne power no ye wie ye enei NDC hia sika education ministry hia grant ye hia moa wa abrofo ho enti omo kosan a emoa ne manu tina NDC for na yedi the writer at the moment afenoma kino beka we no nature say emwa na aban ni enya efra brof no honti ena na 20 mansan but mampani John Dramani Mahama say na nan mabusumfo so omu kiri enkramofo so omu kiri a Christopher so omu kiri dia ene hwan ene pesa de no Ghana ha automatically obi akiri enti ene so obi akiri dia obesan ye pemampani a sabi edu dia den na dia ye se yempe no ono so tutum se ompe dia ye pe no mampani se wope oka 1 cedi levy on fuel ye ka se yempe mampani tie ye ka se yempe levy yempe betting tax mampani tie covid levy otie ye se e man manhia mudie e mema ne mema nhia mudie ye kiri ye nya sa de no Ghana ha tribe bi ani ho a ososo mampani se said ya abamba be ka ye no bill na expire say new parliament omo ensign fan ko oni speaker kasa omo kwese shemra ni wia na omo de ba obesan
say we say na we say ko parliament
of course
na parliament sa ko dwendwene ho na parliament fo no mo yenti ho no na minority fo no ebe hia mo ye majority no manfo aso sa but this time in say mo be pressure ya fanyo makin ho de adwuma be pie ye
o say na NDC opposition Sam George any honorable Francis Xavier Susu yes say omo na omo de omo sika e finance bill no ye agwa adwuma say
na me omo sanye
director enti ye to abawie just 2 months ago Sam George Sabeka say was start process no
no man onya
making sure say be ye
e wo form de
mo
but no man onya
ha anti me concern ni say enei say aban we say obetwam na speaker kan say obeme ye twam mampani say ye de ba ya obesan na na do antime nyina ba bi anka da say obesan ampa so e koye wansan say minority fo no kuni say e chedea Rabata almost some form sika kakra moye no mum pushi na nyentem e ba sa mampani be san
quick one His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eto aso de tudwa se we appointee pa na de oye ayi wo di sika Akuffo ado aban mu na wo so ye na appointee na wo ko di sika ko di nkwasem a mampani so obetiuti abusua yenko tiemra.
Before I became president, had indicated that we're going to take the fight against corruption to a whole new level. And it's not anything personal against anybody. I have said several times that our problem in the fight against corruption is that it is always post-regime corruption that we fight. And so when a government is in office, when scandals are taking place, they don't deal with them. And so they leave it until a new government comes. And when that government comes and starts investigating the cases of corruption, then the previous government says, oh, you are witch hunting us. This is political persecution. But I've said notice to my ministers, ask them every day in cabinet, I remind them. I say the prosecutions that we're taking against the current government will betides the first person who brings a scandal to this government. We shall hang them on a cross. And you follow our Lord Jesus Christ, that you cannot resurrect again. And so I keep warning them that Abaye Debo Techi and Nwani Debo Boba. But we must deal with the corruption that has taken place. And my belief is that if we want our people to continue to have faith in our democracy, then we must show that the political elite is capable of governing accountably.
Okay, Commander.
Yeah, right.
As a mampani kuma OD.
Okay.
As a chama to me mun sama no mo kan mampanyate.
What?
NDC for and as a MP before some more can say. NDC for mo ya which can't hunting.
Yeah.
One hunting, one brofu bi no. Okay. Mampanyate ni nyina. Na mampani di zema tuda.
Of course.
Also we NDC ni we na appointee wo to mo fo.
Of course.
Mampani de ya be bona baso.
Director unim. O say we NDC ni. Na de ne o mo de MP before na MP before sa no odin no. Ukoye corruption na ye chewa. Ye be bo ho de amaw. Chama wontumi de yi. Ye be ka bo ho ene de amaw. Director e ba sa. E ka kire yen say NP before de say bi mampani wonya o mo hwew. Sa. Director da bi enei me ka say me de ade bi be example na me de say story we ba be suso. Director ukọ Bangladesh ya. Former Prime Minister. Oba Director Mahama, sorry to say, last year 2024 year ni tu na there so protest among for protest said there galamsey na Ghana for protest na adoma a echi omutu mu no and a protest in police for no court tutuo and nipa ni bi wuye ene court ahye say former Prime Minister no yenkokunu because enamu wamba mu so any with direction or direction
security court are
Director court to say yenkokun former Prime Minister no because enamne so amatimamufu agu ti enei se samra ni bi ba e beboaye mampani John Dramani Mahama Director me giniti say ensema o ke be adwuma se we NDC appointee na wa dwen kire o say enei the MP before no o me MP before enti na Akuffo ye o sa sorry to say why you that kwan wa fom Director enie wagu wasembe ye time e dia chance because enei se wa hwa Director in the first place mampani John Dramani Mahama since ever o take over ni nkomo nyina ye about corruption say on person na ban no ebe corrupt na empire ne na ni so ade hunu ne say corruption cases bebre ba ekoso o man no etuo betwa enti se wo ye ndisi ni a na ko mistake odo be set example
oh zane mampa example mo wadi kan credit dada
mo enti wo ye ndisi ni na after all these issues na waso ye de na wo say wo de sabi krono sika ye wo de beta wo de ntafre na wo pe wo dwen ye wo say because when your appointment easily will be making millions of dollars here. Sorry to say, only prison term and what and your man penny say your best saying. Ne saying I was saying no, and you are comforted. But Miss Reman Penny say, on my Constitution Review Committee, no, on review Constitution, no, or be a bet channel as cabinet minister and our vice president. Say oye into corruption no e hwehwem no odifo a ye nkosɛn no etu a ye mmɔ no sɛ nanadu ye ni sɛ ya ka kenoforeka kenai kwanti US ka oja ye adwuma ne to hontem na me ye giye sika
na amanfo se Akuffo no soso bone so
of course
tama untumi yes na e allege tama untumi bawura forest makwa kotu good wa benya se da bi me chama untumi di
I was shocked
why they too good
na adu ankasa ejina bonte kase ensem ne de to chama untumi so no enye no kre wa bra na adu ye mampani Director, enu nkwa ensi ho a whole lot of issues. Okay, Martinamidu na ye first special prosecutor. Na do de ne baye. Edrube reason we say. Na the mother serpent of corruption. Corruption ma me no wo na ono na wo corruption no. Na do na yes how wo. Nti e just say he was involved in corrupt act. Na dwuma no. Na woni o mo hye o mo kutupa. O mo nkoye enko ba bia. Nti enei Eshobi atim say oh yeah ye beko ye kwa mampani be so de this time mampani John Dramani Mahama say oh ye ndisi ni na sabi wa nyere wo na o ma corruption ye wo da sorry to say wa nyere lucky
quick one abigi tenase na emon tew abigi j na boko de
na manyam ya do me ho de papa
ensem bebre na ekoso National Cathedral sensem ense mampani John Dramani Mahama be dinkomo afe osanso se oya na pointi na udi muasemu a ense obetwa so de mu odin afe so emema ne mema mani manhye mu de Akuffo do antimi ansan no mampani John Dramani Mahama se mfambra na obesan kwekwan ni nwam e
na mama me nche ahwefo na me mbo Mahama abaso
for the
because ya nya mampani a na ye friend na nado otena 8 years wanji me amabo ntene makase menji ntum magietum ana President Mahama di 10 months wa babo ntene makase obesan so wonji ntum na tata amumielu de na wontem amumielu de na wontem
na misa
ne tese ba ko de no feel so ba de
kasa kum kakama me
na ba ko peso oditum na ba ko de o so wonji ntum anto obesan na Nyankopon abom kama na ma wa se me kofa oba be
no ni asem no
okofa be bini kankan we na Mahama ababon tene anke pipi aban me de bia me kasa me na nadu ni timotin
why dey
na nadu ye na te so be tie Ghana fo aka because Ghana for your man e press oba ye president and the katia no libre ye no
sa
ai na nadu na wan se
ni ye man bre
so so ko 3 times
no
3 times no 4 plus 4 12 mebo a 12 and you do ho asotwe ne de bla Ghana
4 plus 4 say
nye 12
4 plus 4
12
8
wa bo sinama na bom papa
4 now the 4 go 8
what 4 odu miansa
and yes and no dey okay na 12 but also 12 plus 4 plus 4
okay
I 12
okay
but 4 plus 4 no 8
okay me 3 4
and JB also carry 4 times 3
okay 12
so no
okay me na ho me na ma get simple
I don't regret your best
oh that be answer obesere me oh I know about answer what na 8 years want me na 19 na do wan wona wo yere kwa dem a ya hu aniji aniji enu ho na ba ma nyamia bo se fa kwaja wona fa so enu na wo so pe oba kwaja ne nan fa so enu na wo fa de Nyankopon abo ama na ya kono wan kasa wo hia wo feel se what in kano anu na do ansan ana President Mahama afaya sinama me papa o me akom de me wa mama duane sinama na wa mama duane a na madia When you me dofo.
Edi say John Dramani Mahama bill ne ba no otimi san a 2028 nko say ko bi ma beto aba mana.
Ah mato aba mano.
Eh eba so aba na ne ndisi ni.
Oh mato amano.
Sa
Da bi ada woto mana aye ndisi. We ye Ghana ni.
Nokre.
Unsan hunu so.
Nokre.
Anu nti na duru ba bia na me kasa. Me am party o. Adam me party ma fa o man sinchen.
Nokre.
Ah me de nokre ti o man ne be kosu ya. Na ye ndisi aba ne betan so man ne be kosu ya. Mata o machi. Na do baba abiem na emwa. Na me da se di na chi. Se me MPP ni nti. Ai se me ye nyaatun. O se me kan nokre nti Mahama san ya. 8 years no. No sa be ko dia. Ah me so identity na me tuma. Wasan wajet him say nyanko agana kwa ya mamre kwa so ya so nkwasi asamso ya nyemwa obi abaye sa ya aboa ya nyemwa iyi nipa nyame aboye su say ni seso na wo ko fa nyanko ba maturu ade wa bodam ti Mahama say oba san omko parliament oba san ati Mahama nkeka no ho no san amata hu say dia wo bosha wo she gana fo amuto abama no obeya anti Mahama ya fast ne ko sign no mo mfale wasemo ni awu wasemo so ontimi nkasa mo musale na Mahama de oye okoye campaign on kasa on kahwe wakana ni system of fale oso oba parliament oba ye de oba sign
On kasa oba.
Oba astina oba sign
On kasa oba parliament.
oba hia oso ye
What say ade ne be ko parliament. Na I parliament adwendwene ho. No mo de akwakoto mpani.
na we say do mu kwa oni patere na o parliament an MPP for tere no na say we end for 100 no go
Okay.
MPP for tere no o man say a o mo de o mu je o mo ntenchen na we dey parliament on MPP de o mu ngwa ya hwe anu nti de bia ya ko mu kontoka na asia ne so man kontoka na bibia nyu ha makamfa yes no mama mun saso 100 yes 3 ya never.
Quick one, yanko as National Cathedral. Mampani asa di nkoma fa o. Amanfo diska o. Amanfo so be demu nso. Mampani so onya chedi.
Sasa
National Cathedral.
Hey, masa asame o kan.
Nam ka so onya chedi o.
When you person man for nya broken heart bia.
Are.
Asem way. Ankofo bi o ha chama o tibitia. Se Mahama kura se o sa to ane me we so a. O mu yembashi mo. Na nado ankasa ne yembashi no. Enkofo yembashi mo sa ai. Na sika we ye dia Mahama ne anim se wa dai kura. Ane and say 2025 next 4 years now obayo. Me see President Mahama kotena achire ahia nuama ahu se Ghana fo yempen kwase asam. Die ye wo share bo se obaye oba ne wanya ye butu. Ano tin ye 2 MPP fla konya no so. Ne pam mo se bola no. Enti Mahama nsam we awokai onyiro no anche o mo ne ngi sika no. Addo I say $98 million and I'm a boy. I say $98 million. 97 million dollars. I sika bet my ball man hopra. Near the kotu kwa brane. I charge the amount of guess. No muda kotu swimming pool. Aba Ghana there. What budanya go kotu swimming pool say you gari. Yeah, the swimming pool yet. What's na de minitimo tankasa. President Abel Senior Nana Timo Osai Trufo. What that nyam so be si diamond? What sense? What's a year misika? Nabere na no menka akonyana what is no. And we get no brelo, Tim Nanadu dear. Namia cash no. And Tina Bomyaba and Tina Megusa Mikase. And when Tina Bomyaba no meaning na do mature. Muna from Funina. And the end is about Munyan Namunchom. Nearly $97 million. Near Fanya Ghana, Quabrumpo. I say, I am fire Ghana queen. Near from Bibia Juma, not Ghana for a hon toy.
Now, one day some penny to just say, I say, we are appointing now the Udim Wasamu Disca. You are the before no presser.
And you're not correct.
And no correct.
Mahama Yakawi. Sir, or point you will say, by a minister. I had to say, I want your friends.
Would they find us out to force?
Out to force. Now, I went with this car. Obey over to what you want.
And I could too.
Over to what you want.
No correct.
Now I can't come out to me. Now you can say, your one Johnny or some like your friends. Ofoliata. Can Ofoliata. And this in Ancasemuno. Mahama said, would you some forward in ye? we any sini we pipinya tini ye Mahama se wan kasa wo betena konyansi na din sanwofo wo bokro no obechi watum when ye the great president
Mahama say
wo bodin sanfo wo bokro no obechi watum wo fa sikane enkogu abrichire am betena abra Ghana fo nyamfa so bia masa akoa so ntimi nwia ni master akoa ba wie ni fa wo betena konyansi ye ponti wo se koye bibia wo ya akoa ma oman no wo so mo man ayede na wonye sika che oman no ano na nkofo bia sisi ada awie ade akosisi dan no bebre anti we o so beche anti Mahama misrew tamo dum case I find enjano kra chino ni enji sai sika no yese wajisika ode koye kwan ya hu wajisika okoye bro ya hu asatu ye policy aseno nti aha anyi siaban anyi na ndi ti for kra na o se obechichi omuye na wo MPP nya wa bokro no ene munjina yo afere adane bedu obese Ghana fo mumla amuti so no papa so mu yes Ghana Ghana fo na mu refi me se ani siaban me se ani siaban ba set record abi sika akromfo bi ha o medem na me se ha ada o metena tamo wotumi se sinema magda wo ya match amount me anya 15 years Jay, obedem, Papa, we need some good.
na chawo tun nsam de beto mu say
Anani nanya, or send this needing some fua. Bokrona ebecho. Nanya no se amount na avia escape. Waji sika koye kwan wanye. Waji sika ko dua bro, ya hunisi. Anti ono ai nyekron, nyenza funi bi no. Anti apendi to form poni ya o mo se oh, Mahama se ono mamuwe we no. Oban for good. Won't me resign. Mama think cancer so and this ni na yesikanti na abatina resign when resign your obechi watum wo bua kro na wo be ni sika na wo kro na o say resign ko packet wo baby na ko kan kro fo ono na ban we nya kro no ban na do mu kro no ban no o so nya bia obechi watum ti mama wie sika amo fira ko nya so mu ngina yie ana mo hu me say Mahama nyamnya Ghana fo anto aba ma o komanu
yewie eko ebe so ba biem abigini yete ne ka no ya ka mu nyina